The large portals are changing the way they do business. You're giving up a large percentage of your commission when you're working with one of the large portals. Same thing for the iBuyers, right? This new concept, which is the iBuyer or power buyer that's coming into the marketplace, and they're growing their footprint. They have a small presence today, about 2% of the market, but within 2 years, if they're somewhere between 5 and 7%, it's something the industry has to really be aware of.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, everyone, thanks for joining us. We've got Stuart Sim. He wears a lot of hats at Chime. I don't know what hat he's wearing today, so I'm going to ask him. What's your current position, buddy?
So again, wear different hats. My official title is business development, essentially, which working with partners and everything, but also brand ambassador. So doing lots of live events, in-person stuff, trade shows, all the good things that I run into you at.
I love that. And today we're going to add to your hat. We're talking about social media. So you're like the social media expert for Chime.
It's one of the things I do. After I left realtor.com, I actually started my own social media company. So helping real estate agents with social media. So that's why I kind of can talk about what we're going to discuss today and what needs to happen over the next 2 years, because right now things are changing across the industry, right? So low inventory, high interest rates, PPC SEO are extremely expensive. The large portals are changing the way they do business. You're giving up a large percentage of your commission when you're working with one of the large portals. Same thing for the iBuyers, right? This new concept, which is the iBuyer or power buyer that's coming into the marketplace, and they're growing their footprint. They have a small presence today, about 2% of the market, but within 2 years, if they're somewhere between 5 and 7%, it's something the industry has to really be aware of.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah. So it's one of those crazy things. There was a great quote I read somewhere. Real estate's one of those industries that's dipping their toe into social media, but we're not diving in. And what I see with social specifically, and I understand the issues, right? So what are some of the issues that real estate agents face? They don't have access to all this great content that you would find, if you've got a team working on it. They don't have enough followers to start with. So, where did Facebook start, right? It's a friends, it's basically a friends app, right? You touch base with people from your past.
Yeah.
But when you start to use it for business, you really have to build a proper page. And I'll pull up a page that I believe is really good later in the webinar. I'll share my screen out, someone who's doing a really good job. But it does take a lot of time, right? You have to devote some time to building your social presence. And, obviously with Facebook and Instagram being linked, there's some benefit of using those two sites. But, for professional side, you've got LinkedIn, for video, you've got YouTube or TikTok. And even to some extent, some of the younger real estate agents are dabbling with Snapchat, right?
Yep,
So
yep.
You've got all these different sites, but when you think about, the average age of a real estate agent, are they technologically advanced enough to actually manage their page, or do they have to pay someone to do that? There's lots of sites out there that can help you with your social media. But in reality, it's something that you should be able to master yourself. And some of the key things that you have to remember with social media is what you're posting and the relevance of what you're posting. So for me, what I see and what the biggest mistake people are making is they just focus on listings, right? They focus on listings. But really what you want to do is not just focus on listings, but relevant content, market information, localized market information. So, if you're down in LA and you're living in Santa Monica, you really want to focus within kind of a 4 or 5 mile radius that it's important to say, even, oh, there's a special event going on at the Santa Monica Pier today. All these different things that are relevant, but give you that social presence that people are going to want to follow you, as opposed to when you just post a listing. Video is super important when you're using Facebook or Instagram. You got to get good at video. Now, there's some services out there, you're very familiar with BombBomb or some of the other ones that are like that. But, you know, for you to put a very quick 30-second profile up that you can use not only for social media, but for instant text messaging when you're actually responding to a potential customer, video is top of mind because they actually develop you're developing your personality with them right off the bat. The other thing people
Stuart,
don't, yeah,
hold on. Let me ask people a question because then that'll help us a little bit
sure.
more. Everyone, just do me a favor in the chat. Tell us what social outlet you gravitate to. Is it Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn? Where do you go when you turn on your phone? What's the first place you go to? I'll tell you, I alternate between three. Well, actually, shit, I don't even know anymore. Actually, I alternate between four. I'm going to have to say, if I'm just chilling, I'll probably go to Facebook or TikTok first. That's me. Oh, here we go. We got a whole bunch of responses, Stuart. I'm going to see if I can field them for you so you can kind of talk.
Yeah, I can actually see them. Facebook,
Perfect.
Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, and if anybody who's watching the webinar, and if they want to look at what I do on social media, I am big with LinkedIn, right? Because what I do and the nature of what I do is really focused on that. So
you do a great job there, man. You do a very good job
building my network. I've got around 2,000 people that are following me, or, you know, that have linked up with me. So that's where I spend a ton of my time. It's the first thing I look at in the morning to see who's reached out to, you know, connect with me and what the value they bring to me from a business perspective. And that's kind of how you have to look at all these different sites. So I believe that for a real estate agent, the number one place is Facebook, because Facebook does get almost 2 billion viewers per day. They're still extremely relevant. And if you combine the two, so Facebook and Instagram, because you can link them. So if you're posting on one, it's going to shoot over to the other. It can really hit your target market faster than some of the other ones. I'm not a huge TikTok guy because I'm 54 and that's just the case. My kids use it all the time, and Snapchat's the same. But those other outlets are super important. Let me share my screen for a second here, Tristan. I want to show you this one site that I think is just amazing. Where is Lene?
It's a great response in the chat, dude. It's just great to see agents. I do see the majority of all of you on Facebook for sure, which is great. While he's looking, just remember, Facebook still has, Facebook and Instagram still has the most amount of users that can purchase and sell homes. So
do you see my screen right now, Tristan?
I've got
Lene Carter.
Lene Carter on there.
Yeah. So this is an agent in Washington State, and she just does an exceptional job. And I'll show you why. First of all, the name stands out right away, right? First and foremost, she's got a good picture. But right here along kind of the tagline, you can see she's got everything that you need to be successful from a real estate perspective. So you've got your reviews. So one thing I didn't touch on before is reviews and testimonials are super, super important for a real estate agent. And it doesn't matter if you're just using them for social media. It's also if you're just posting to your website, very, 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 very key. So she's got great reviews. You can scroll through them. She's got amazing photos. You know, she does a very solid job. She's basically building her personality and profile very quickly online. And if you just go to her home screen and scroll through some things, you can see the first thing that jumps out. She's got really good video. She's got exceptional content. So she's got a combination of listings. She's getting reaction from people out in the marketplace. So I really love kind of what she does from a social media perspective. And obviously she transfers over to Instagram and she does some other cool stuff. But everything you need here to attract attention is there. So I always like to show Lene's site because she does do such a good job.
Dude, I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. I think a lot of us really need to, if we're going to start anywhere when it comes to social, we need to just take a look at our profile first and say, hey, have we worked on our profile? What does that look like so people can contact us and at least know what we're doing for a living? Right. So that's a beautiful thing. Let's talk about where you think agents need to be focused on when it comes to social. And it doesn't matter if it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, it doesn't matter. What should they be focused on when it comes to social media?
So I think one of the big mistakes people make is they don't focus on their specific market. So as a real estate agent, you should be able to build the profile of your ideal target market, right? So let's say the typical house that you sell is 1.2 million to 1.4 million. That's a very good target range within your specific market. And you can actually be very specific when you find marketing material, market information that you're providing out to your social media sphere, to drive that interest. Because what people want to see is anything you post, are you getting the hits that you should be getting? And that tells them that people are interested in what you are doing, as opposed to just skimming over your content. They're actually engaged with your content and more likely to actually engage and ask you a question. You know, you're very familiar with a call to action, right? You know what a call to action is, right? When you post something on social media, everything that you post should have some form of call to action, which is a form attached to your post that asks for the basic information: email, phone number, name, right? And then you can get that into your database. So social media, just like anything else, is really all about attracting new prospects and new customers, right? So building your database up. And we've had these many conversations over the last few months about, you know, how many people are you trying to attract every week? Where is it coming from? I believe that over the next couple of years, social media is even going to increase in their relevance. So if I look at, you know, myself, I'm a 54-year-old guy. If I was a realtor, chances are my target audience is going to say between 35 and 55 years old. That's who I want to be dealing with, because that's typically who I could actually have something in common with. So, you know, talked about hockey this morning, or being a guy who's a little bit handy. There's something there that I'm going to start building the relationship off. And if I look at that age demographic, 32% of those people are active on social media, specifically on Facebook. So 32% is a big number. They are there. They're spending at least half an hour on Facebook every day. And that's where it becomes relevant. If you're able to get call it top of funnel on Facebook, where you're getting that #1 hit spot, you can really start driving some interest, and people will start asking you questions. When I post something on LinkedIn, it's the same thing. My expectation is that if I don't get 1,500 people at least looking at it or liking it, it's going to be a failed message, right? So the other side of Facebook that everyone forgets is there's a tremendous amount of analytics built in. So the reporting side of what we do on social media is just as important as the number of people actually going to your site, because some of the key analytics is how long are people spending on each article that you post? How long are they spending on your actual page? So scrolling up and down. So you can actually build your campaigns or your articles, pre-schedule them out, and then decide what you're going to do. I don't know if you know that Chime has social studios, which is a very nice scheduling tool.
Can you show me that, since this is a webinar?
Absolutely. Let's see what we can go into here.
While you're popping that open, I'd like to remind everybody that the one thing that you need to focus on, regardless of where you're at, is getting into consistency of posting, which is kind of why I love what Chime's got to offer. If you can auto post to start, great. And then after you start, you get consistent with that, then you can start looking at, well, what am I posting? And is it connecting with people? But it's a process first. And I think we forget that it all comes from consistency first.
Yeah, you're correct. And you know, when you start taking the time to actually analyze those key reporting pieces that I'm talking about, you'll actually see a real pattern develop, right? And that does happen around consistency. So great point, Tristan. So this is the Chime interface. If anybody's using Chime, you'd be very familiar with it. Everything's easy to navigate to the up and to the right, and then down and to the left. But we've added this thing called Social Studios, and Social Studios is really about scheduling. events taking place within your social sphere. And if I look at who we connect with today, we connect with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So you can actually schedule those posts out in advance by a month if you want to. You can actually build a post around a listing, a blog, your landing page. You can build a custom post. And there's two versions of this. So there's Social Studios, the regular version that you get, and then there's Social Studios Pro, which goes into much deeper, it's a little more complex on how you do your postings, and the results are a little stronger, and the reporting capabilities are a little easier to manage, but super easy to use. The great thing is it's all out of, again, with Chime, you're dealing with one system, right? So anything you post on social media, whatever comes back is going to go right into your Chime database, and you can start working it like you would any other lead that's coming in. So your smart plans, and actually moving someone through the system, how you expect it to happen, from touch points, emails, text messages, they're going to get everything that they should.
I have a question on this. Is this something that you have to add to the Chime CRM? Does it come with it? Can I get it separately?
The basic Social Studios comes with the product.
Okay.
And if you want to upgrade to Social Pro, there is a little bit of an extra charge, but it's not too much. I can't remember what it is, but it's like
Got it.
$19 a month or something.
Okay, and then Ted's got a question. What if you have multiple, let's say Instagram accounts, or like I've got, I don't even know how many TikTok accounts I have.
Yeah, you've got a whole pile. It's hard to follow you some days, but yeah, we can work with multiple accounts. That's not a problem at all. It's just when we build your profile out, we add all those different sources. So if you've got 3 or 4 different Facebook pages because you've got teams, or your one's for the brokerage and one's for the agent and one's for a team, absolutely you can have all those different ones broken out.
Got it. All right. And then great question here as well. Pete says, what's the difference between Pro and what comes with it?
Yeah, so the basic Social Studios is just going to offer you one instance, basically. So if you've got one Facebook page, it's going to work with that one Facebook page. The Pro will work with multiple. So if you have multiple Instagram accounts, if you have multiple Facebook pages, that's kind of one of the differentiators. The number of posts that you can actually do on a monthly basis is greater with Pro versus the socials, the basic social. So there's a few different parts to the program, but again, call in, have someone show you it in detail. It's pretty amazing what we're going to do and what we're going to build out in the future for sure. Got it.
Dude, I love this, man. It makes it a lot easier. All right, let's go back to social media in general for real estate agents and technology. What are you noticing right now? I've got my answer, but I want to hear yours. What are you noticing right now is what's standing out when it comes to social media, and where is social media heading?
Yeah, so for me, it's by expanding your brand out, you have to have more than one tool that you're using. So lots of real estate agents today are jumping on the Facebook bandwagon, but they're missing out on some other things like YouTube. For instance, YouTube is a fantastic source to actually drive through your business, because YouTube gets a ton of hits every day. And what you want to do with YouTube is essentially start building out your video content. Multiple different videos, different styles of videos, quick videos, 30 seconds, and then you want to have your 4-minute ones. You want to have your video tours of properties. You've got, again, it's all about content, as you know, Tristan, right? So where are you getting that content? Who's developing that content for you? Are you doing it professionally? Are you using a service like Matterport? Are you using your iPhone? What tools? And it'd be interesting to do a 30-minute Q&A on what people believe are the best tools, right? Like individual agents going, hey, this is where I've had success. This is what I've done successfully on social media.
Yeah.
Because I think, again, I said it before, it does take a lot of effort to build a really good social profile, but don't get stuck in one place. Like, don't just stop at Facebook. Expand your brand by using things like YouTube. Try TikTok once in a while. Do some different things that not only are they good for your customers to see you expanding your brand, but it's also fun. Like, have fun with it. You don't necessarily have to, I don't know how to call it, always think that things have to be 100% ultra professional. Sometimes you can put some silliness in there. It really opens up your personality and does give the prospect a view of something a little bit different, right? So
I like
I
that.
think there's a few different tips and tricks that you can do as a real estate agent to make the social media experience super fun. And as you get better at it, as you do, I remember the first post I did, I thought you had to be super, super professional, but the reality is people are looking just for something that catches their eye. And then if you finish it off with a joke or something, you can really catch people and get their attention and start building out your database and your brand as you need to.
Yeah, that's very true, man. I like all the points you touched on right there. And I'll give you a list of the apps that we use or that we've used that I think are really helpful for real estate agents. The first one that comes to mind only because not all agents are really good at spitballing, right? Just jumping on the phone and then just talking. So we have an app called, well, not we, but we use an app called, it's not mine. It's called Smart Prompt Pro, and I'll put it up in the chat. Smart Prompt Pro, what you do is you just type in whatever it is you're going to type in, copy paste it from a Google Doc, and then you literally put the phone up right in front of you, and then you start talking, and then it starts scrolling as you're talking, and then once you stop, it stops. Or it continues when you stop, and it's all based on what you're saying. And since you're looking at it, it looks like you're actually just talking on the go, and people are like, how are you so good? I don't use it, but Jeff Fitzer, who runs Drunk on Social with me, uses it all the time. He actually outlines all of his scripts. Just jump and take a look at
No, I
Jeff
will. That sounds
Fitzer's
cool.
Instagrams, and they look like, damn, he does a really good job, but it's all scripted, right? That's a beautiful thing. So take a look at that. That's one. The other one that we use, and this is one that I use daily on everything I do, it's Viva Video. And Viva Video, I shoot all of my content on that I shoot, right? Not the team. I shoot all of my content on my phone, on my actual video camera on cinematic mode for the iPhone. And once I shoot it, I just upload it into Viva Video. And then I go in there and I edit, I shorten up the video, I crop it. It's so easy to use. So if it's one long video and in the middle, Stuart, let's say I said, and I couldn't think, I could just cut that little piece off and it clips
Edit it.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super easy to use. And then once that's done, then I decide I'm going to upload it to TikTok, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. I can upload it anywhere I want.
Yeah, you're good at the reels. Some of your reels are really good, right? I watch those all the time. I'm linked up with them. And that's an interesting thing an interesting point that you bring up, because I do not see a lot of the people I'm connected to in the real estate industry using reels, right? It's very, very important because you're essentially providing a live video that's going out to a ton of people. So, again, I'm a little bit older, so Facebook, Instagram, those are my number ones along with LinkedIn, right? So, but you can do some really fun things with the real side of stuff. You can do a live report from an open house. You can do really good stuff. I think we got about 5 minutes left. Do we want to take on some questions?
Yeah, let's take on some questions. Dump them into the chat or in the Q&A. There's a great question just about Chime, Stuart. I don't know if you can answer this or at least help them go in the right direction. Boudram says, is there a way to get a head start with Chime? I'm waiting to get onboarded through LPT Realty.
I would just literally pick up the phone and dial customer support, and they will guide you through that. We do have a relationship with that brand because, funnily enough, I was talking to someone there last Friday. But we would have their account on record, so you would be able to jump in there and hopefully get set up quicker.
Perfect. Okay, let me put in the Chime number there. That's the general Chime number. Boudram, I just added it to the bottom. Lynn Veronica Marino said, is there a charge for these apps? The apps that I posted up there, I think there are free versions for the two. So you can go the free route. I pay for it because I don't like the logos on them. And then Stuart mentioned Chime has a social media auto poster as well. That one you can purchase the pro version inside of Chime, or you can get the one that comes with Chime originally. Outside of Chime, though, if you don't have the Chime CRM, you can't get the auto poster, correct, Stuart? Just
No,
repeating that.
it's all part of the system. Yeah.
All right, cool. Now, Lynn, there are a couple of sites that you may need that you may want to take a look at that are free to remove the little logo for TikTok so you can place it onto Reels or even YouTube Shorts. Take a look at snaptic.app. I just threw it in there, and then and I'm grabbing the other one. The other one is, let's say you did an Instagram Reel and you want to remove the logo for Instagram. You want to then, hold on, let me grab that. And then you want to put it up on TikTok so it doesn't have the Instagram logo. It's called InstaFinsta. I'm just trying to get the right
InstaFinsta?
InstaFinsta. And I think it was just bought too. So I believe, yeah, it is. It's indown.io. It just got bought out here. Let me put it up. There's the other one as well.
The other thing with Chime, Tristan, is BombBomb is built right in. So if you want to do quick, short videos, BombBomb is actually integrated in to Chime as well.
Oh, dude, yes. We actually have a couple of campaigns that go out initially because of that. So yeah, great point on that. So if you got BombBomb, it's built in. Bob's got a great question. How would you treat your Facebook page if you do multiple activities? Stuart, I'll ask you. If you do sales, property management, RE instructor, et cetera, multiple pages or everything on one page?
It's a good question because it really depends on how you've branded yourself as an agent, whether you are branding yourself amongst those three different categories, or if you break them out into, you know, I'm a real estate agent for residential, but I'm also commercial and I also do these other cool things. I would probably, if I was going to strategize around that, I would probably break out anything related to buying and selling. I would keep together, and then separate things, whether you're doing, you know, what was some of, give me, what was he doing again?
He's doing sales, property management, RE instruction. He's doing multiple things. Should he all have that in that page?
I'd break out the property management piece and make it its own, because you would probably want to brand that out something a little bit different, and the messaging you're sending out would be a little bit different, because not everybody would understand that, and you're only really dealing with a small percentage of the population that's going to be needing that type of service. So targeting that would be a little bit different than you would say target your regular business.
All right, I like that. And also when you're looking at doing TikTok, think of initially, so it's all in one place, but then depending on your audience, as you're gravitating to different videos, decide, hey, maybe I should actually start a different TikTok just on that niche specifically. Yep. So you could also do that as well. Now, there's a question here in the Q&A. Is there a difference between scheduling right through the social platform in Chime versus Social Studio that Instagram and Facebook have?
The difference is what happens with the prospect when they come into the system, right? So if you're using Chime Social Studio, that lead is going to come into Chime, and we're going to start working it right away. There's no manual import. It's automated, right? So even if you're doing something completely different, you're stuck on a ladder painting your house on the weekend, and a lead comes through Facebook, Chime is going to start nurturing that and reaching out to it on your behalf with the AI as part of your smart plan to manage that lead or prospect.
Oh, I love that, dude. Good answer. Good answer. Raj, better to share TikToks to IG Reels or IG Reels to TikTok? Look, if you can remove the logo for each, it doesn't matter. But if you're going to create the content on TikTok, I would rather just create it there. You've got a more powerful video editor that adds a lot more, and then just throw it into Instagram, because now they're both hating on each other. If they see the Instagram logo, or if on the other side, if they see the TikTok logo, they're gonna shut down your reach. So remove
That's
the
right.
logos, remove the logos. All right. Sanjeev, can we export prospects into another CRM like KV Core? So let's say we have Chime, we're using Chime, but we also want to use KV Core. Can we download and export into another CRM, Stuart?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to you completely, right? So I'm not a believer in multiple CRMs because I believe all your data should be in one place. But if you're using KV Core, the results, I love KV Core as a system. They're our number one competitor, but they do a good job, reaching out to leads for you on your behalf. They have some AI built in. But I would try and honestly stick to one CRM system. Dealing with two systems just gets over complex.
Correct.
Typically they don't link together, right? So KV Core doesn't link with Chime. So you're just duplicating the work effort, to be honest with you.
Oh, can it export automatically? Sanjeev, great question. I would check Zapier. I don't know if that's an option, but check
Always a
Zapier.
CSV file, but that's a little more, complicated.
Yeah. Check Zapier. I think great questions. We had a great turnout, 100 people, Stuart. Pretty good. We had a few hundred register. So everyone here, you do get a copy of this. If you have any questions, always reach out to me or Stuart. How do we get a hold of you? Preferably LinkedIn or
LinkedIn, man.
What's your username on LinkedIn?
That's just me. It's Stuart Sim.
Stuart Sim. All right,
Yep.
everybody. Thanks for joining us. And if you have any questions about Chime, we put up a link there. You can just go to chime.me. We have an affiliate with LabCoatAgents, or just go to chime.me and just call the number there or ask any questions. Thanks, everybody. Have an awesome Monday morning. Afternoon if you're in the East Coast, morning if you're anywhere else in the US or in Canada. I don't know. Stuart, you're in Canada.
I am.
Same time zone. So
thanks everybody for attending. Appreciate it. Any questions, feel free to reach out.